See, this is one, one requirement of LIMS. So that's what I'll answer your question, okay? But my first question to all of you, those who have experience in LIMS, can any one of you define what LIMS is? Any one of you? Any one of you?
Yeah, it deals with the laboratory
What
inventory
LIMS is?
management system.
No, it's
LIMS will
laboratory
deal
information management system. It's laboratory information. We don't
information.
only manage inventories. We manage a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
things apart from inventories. So it's not laboratory inventory management. So let me tell you, okay. So see, in very simple terms, laboratory information management system, it is a tool actually. It is used to log samples, enter results for those samples, and report the results of those samples. You know, of course, these are very simplified description. It's much like saying that, the job of a lab is to perform tests. Okay. So,
Yeah.
when we say LIMS, we can tell that, okay, we can work on inventory, we can create reports, we can work lots. But I am asking you one question. Is it complete without sample? Without sample, we cannot work, right? So sample is the
No.
basic building block, right? So if
Yes.
anyone asks you define LIMS, then you need to tell, right? Like I can keep on defining like in one whole page that LIMS, okay, we can work on stability manager, we can work on EM module, we can create reports, we can transfer data from, chromatography to LIMS. But no, the basic thing, like what I say is that what is a kitchen? The task of a kitchen is to cook, right? Correct. Rectify me if I'm wrong. So basically, if I ask you what laboratory information management system is, and if anyone comes in with this question, many people will tell in many ways. But basically, you will tell that it is a tool used to log samples, enter results, and report the results of those samples.
Yes,
Got it?
correct.
Got it. See, again, anyone can, come back and tell that no, maybe I can say in a better way, but if you can, but I am telling you, define LIMS in one sentence. That's the toughest thing, right? That's the toughest thing. Because many will say, okay, I work on inventories, we can work on inventories, we can do audit trail, we can do this, we can do that. Yeah, I know we can do a lot of things. But my point is, what is LIMS? The point is when we start a course on something, we should be first able to define it, right? Is it clear now?
Okay.
Happy with the
Okay.
definition?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, now someone asked me, right? Something. Now you can go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, we have used caliber limbs.
Mhm. So yeah, caliber LIMS is also a very good LIMS,
Yes.
but there
And
are
in
different kinds of LIMS.
yes,
Yeah.
correct. So it's a actually properly a laboratory information management system.
Mhm.
Say suppose a formulator will place a request for the particular test or particular analysis. I'm also an analytical person, and I
Mhm.
will get request from formulator, and then I will start my analysis. I will perform the analysis, and I will code the result, and the
Mhm.
results will be there in the limbs. So it will
Mhm.
be a easier task for the traceability at what day, at what time, and what person or who is exactly the analyst who have
Correct,
performed this
correct,
test.
correct,
So
correct,
this will
correct,
be the traceability for the particular test or particular analysis or particular
correct,
batch
correct,
or product. So
correct,
it
correct,
will be
correct.
a easier tool to trace, to search or to trace the particular test and product and analysis and date. So basically, it's a
So
data management system. I think that will
yeah, correct.
manage the data. Laboratory information and management system is a data, particular the data management system that will easily create you the traceability for the particular analysis or test.
Correct. Correct. Laboratory information. That means whatever
Yes,
happens in the laboratory, we
correct.
manage everything, right? Using LIMS. That's another,
Yeah,
to be very honest, that's another definition. But what you said, that is also possible in lab LIMS and other LIMS as well, because whenever you enter result, it will get audited. Whenever you
yes,
create a test, it will get audited. Who created it? Whenever you create a sample, it will get audited. Okay.
yes,
So, so a brief history, right? We all know, right? Earlier we used pen and paper, right? And and again, if we used to do calculations, right? It used to be in pen and paper, right? To be very
okay,
honest.
okay,
But now what happened? Now we have tools, right? Because if you take example of LIMS, for example, LabWell LIMS, you can write LIMS basic code, right? You can write the formula. The analyst will just enter the values, right? But
correct.
earlier that used to be pen and paper, right? You needed a
Yes,
calculator and you need to calculate everything, right?
yes.
In a
Excel
pen
sheet
and
were
paper.
there.
Yes, yes. But now it's like you even don't need to type the formula, right? Or you don't need to know, maybe you know what the formula is, but the formula is already typed and it's already validated, right? You just
Okay,
enter the values and based on that, again, it's not only calculation. For example, there are two components maybe. If you
correct.
if there are some cases and conditions where you enter values for two components and they are outside of particular value, then again your stage 2 components jump in and you enter stage 2 values again stage 3, right? So those
Okay.
things are also possible in LIMS, right? It's very beautifully you can configure, right? So this is
Okay.
where in very short, this is how slowly the need came for laboratory information management system, and slowly it got modified, and it down the line it become a better version with the upgrades. Now we have web based LIMS,
Okay.
we have client server, thin client, thick client LIMS, we have web based LIMS. So it depends on the need, right? And again, we'll come to those. So what is LIMS? I said you, but again, see here, that's what is written here, right? Allows to efficiently manage samples, automate workflow,
Okay.
produce accurate reproducible results. Okay, then evaluate
Yes.
and improve operational. Okay, so these things we can do in LIMS, right? All of these things we can do. And one more thing, right? What is LIMS? It's not only LIMS, right? We can again, connect LIMS with instruments, right? We can do instrument integration, right? Again, we
Okay.
can connect it with chromatographic tools, right? Correct.
Okay.
I believe any one of you have those who have worked on caliber LIMS, there should be some integration, right, with any chromatographic tool, so that it directly takes there from the chromatography values, and then it pulls into LIMS. Is it
Okay.
is it there? Something is there? No, it
Yeah,
maybe it has to be
basically,
there, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
basically industry we use SAP and LIMS and chromatography CDS software linked with HPLC, the integration between these.
Mhm. So again, barcoding is also there, right? In all LIMS tools, you can do the barcoding, right? Like you bring the barcode scanner in front of your sample, and then it reads from the barcode, and accordingly it gets populated in the LIMS, right? Whatever it is, be it sample
Okay.
number, be it storage location. This of, right? Those who have worked on the lab, that you have one beaker, you bring the barcode in front of it, you
Yes.
take the reading, and it comes in. So this is what, right? It can do a lot of things like sample tracking, right? Who
Yes.
received it, to whom it
Traceability.
went. Yeah, the
Yes.
traceability of the sample, right? To which
Yes.
location then it went for the next steps for the test. Who approved it? Who rejected it? Who cancelled
Okay.
it? To whom is it pending? Who has been assigned which task? So this is what, right? Query searching, right? It's possible in LIMS to do
Okay.
query searching, right? For example, I ask you that, okay, give me a query or give me an output. Who logged into this sample, or who this user, he created how many samples within this date to this date?
Yes.
Very
Correct.
simple example, right? So this all LIMS can do, right? So they can do a lot of things. Okay. But these all are the basic things. Again, we can work with inventory. There is
Okay.
inventory manager, there is environmental, EM module, there is stability module. Okay. So, basically, how LIMS works, basically, see, you will have workflows. Those who work in the lab, you have workflows.
Yes.
You
Yes.
click
We
on the
have.
workflows, and yeah, and you follow those steps and you work with workflows. But
Correct.
basically, maybe those who don't work with workflows, maybe they are in IT company, they are working on some master data project, they are creating master data, then they are directly creating master data. There are some projects who create the workflows for you. The developers themselves create the workflows, right? They use HTML, CSS, all the coding technology and whatever is needed to create the workflow. Because you see, whatever you click in the workflow, it's there already in the drop down menu for LIMS, right? Most of the time. Like in
Okay.
workflow, if you create a sample, it has to be there in the above drop down menu, right? Workflow is nothing, it's just step by step automating your steps, so that once you click on this happens, you get everything at one place, right? You create
Correct.
pie charts, graphs, and you can see, right? But it's just an extension, right? It's just you are customizing, right?
Okay.
Then barcode labeling, training, record checking. Yeah, you do record checking also, inventory tracking, then approve, reject, test. What we do,
Yes.
right? We create the sample, right? Then what we do, there are certain tests inside the sample, we enter the values, then the supervisor comes, then they approve or reject it, or they cancel it. Like
Yes.
external integration, I said, right? External integration can be of various types, right? It can be with your instruments, it can be with your chromatographic tools, it can be with your SAP also, right?
Okay.
So we will discuss later in our later classes that where does SAP come and why does SAP come in LIMS. Okay, basically. Okay.
Okay.
So now there are different types of LIMS vendors, right? For example, Thermo Fisher Scientific, then Labvantage, Labware, yeah, Caliber, Star LIMS. So Labware is built on Smalltalk. Labvantage is built on Java. Again, I'm not sure, Starlims or, Thermo Fisher Scientific has its sample manager. Any one of them is built on C sharp. So, different, LIMS tools are built on different programming languages, right? This you will agree, right? The platform is different. Am I audible, team, everyone?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you just let me know yes or no. Okay, if you don't understand anything, you can tell me that okay, I did not understand, or you can come back again. But right,
Yes,
that it is a
understand.
tool, it is a software, so it will be
Yes.
built on. But the point is here, that's why, right? When a company buys LIMS, right, from any vendor, pharma company, so they see, right, the licensing cost, what functionalities are there, what the support would be. But another thing, major thing which they see is the technology also, right? How easier it is to, so that they can customize without them being always going to the vendor, right? For example, I want this small change in my limbs, right? And I want to customize it, right? I want it my way, right? Some custom made some part. That's why, in level limbs the subroutine comes, and in Vantage your Java code comes. In level limbs we have the crystal report. So that's what, right? One thing is that I'm giving you one software. The other thing is that I need to look into the technology also, right? So that I can modify it or I can customize it a bit as per my needs, right? Agreed.
Okay.
That the technology comes, right? Because different types of limbs. So, if you want to, customize something on LabVantage, you need to know Java, right? If you want to customize something in Labware, I mean something not easy, something, a bit, in depth, then you need to know LIMS basic code, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you, right? You need to know a bit of query searching and everything, right? Am I just let me know if I'm wrong, right? It's correct, right?
Excuse me, what you are trying to say that it requires .NET developing side you are talking, right?
No, my point is that if you want to configure something in depth, like
Yes,
something complicated, then you need to know a bit of development, right? For certain kinds of
correct.
limb.
But see, the typically even I'm a QA guy. I'm taking care about CSV compliance and CSV.
Mhm.
As a CSV person, I will tell the requirement. I will tell the basic requirement. I will ensure the compliance level. Why? Because
Yeah, yeah.
for me, no, no, I don't know the developing and
Correct, correct,
developer
correct, correct,
skills.
correct,
Yeah,
correct,
that's the
correct,
reason.
correct, correct. But I'm trying to tell you from a developer perspective, right? You are telling from a tester perspective. I agree. But my point is, for example, where the scripting comes, for
Yeah,
example, I am telling you, right, that you gave me a requirement that okay, I am doing some content uniformity stage test, and I have two components. Now, if this fail, I need stage two. If this fail, I need stage three.
yes,
Then
yes,
I need
yes.
some development, right? Be it
That's
some
correct.
customization, be it some code, right? That I need to set certain limits, right? If this is out of
Yeah.
my limit, these two components will come. If this out of this limit, these three components will come.
In
So
this,
that's
in
where
that
I'm telling you,
existing,
right?
yeah, you mean to say in that existing shared backend, you will made some configuration settings and all for that
Yeah,
requirement.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
It's either configuration or maybe it's some minor coding. It depends, right, on
and
which
code
LIMS
level
tools we are
changes
using.
also might be there, depends on the requirement. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Depends on the requirement and depends on, what kind of tool it is, what kind of LIMS it is. That's what.
Yeah.
Because personally, when working on lab well LIMS, if this kind of requirement comes, we need to write LIMS basic code, we need some
Yes, yes,
functions to introduce. That's
absolutely.
what.
So,
Yeah,
so
I'm talking with
even
a QA perception, you are talking developer
Yeah,
perception,
correct,
no
correct. Yeah,
problem.
no, you are also correct. Yeah, correct. That's what. No, I'm just telling. I'm just giving the bigger picture. Yeah, someone else was asking something.
yeah, yeah. What my actually my question was, are we gonna participate in any coding related things? Since you know that I am also handling some CSV related activities, but during this LIMS developments as a developing or application support, are we gonna learn any coding practices during this training session?
No. See, I will. For the last three batches, I taught them everything regarding queries. Okay, what query, how to write some basic queries, and how to write joins. I took separate classes, for queries here only. I took separate time for writing queries, and I taught everyone how to write queries. So that because all of them, on popular demand, they said queries. I said that okay, I'll include query going ahead and how to write queries. So, and then what I went is I went a bit further, and then I went right how the table structure is built inside, LIMS inside labware. I mean, I need to take one particular tool and I'll explain, right? Because table structures, but so that you get some idea, right? about how the tables are built in LIMS, and you can draw a line that on you can relate later that okay, I am using this LIMS, this has to be this way, right? Because in all the LIMS there has to be one sample table, inside that there has to be one test table, inside that there has to be one result table, right? So some general used table, and how to write queries, how to understand those table structures, I always teach them. And if time permits, maybe we can see some LIMS basic coding if time permits, but that also takes time, right? There we need to understand loops and many things, right? But yes, if time permits, we can look. But yes, query part, I always taught everyone in the earlier classes, and they were very happy, you know. So did this answer your question,
Whatever you
maybe?
are telling, yeah, it will be helpful for QA person also. He can ask
Uh,
many
uh,
questions, and we can crack that whatever the developer
Correct,
is
correct. See,
giving
even
the
if you are QA, right, you need some
yeah.
details, right? You need to see, right, who logged in when, who did what,
Yes,
which samples were logged in within. So if I tell you that I want all the samples which are in unreceived status, then you can write one simple query where status is you, right? One simple
yes,
query which will make your day easy, right? Which will make your task very easy, right? Instead of
yes,
going into report and pulling, just one line of query. Like the way I'll teach you is that it will be very clear to all of you, just one line of query. So that will help you, right? That see, query in any industry, right? SQL query is where you work with data, there will be database, right? And where there is database, there is query, right? Correct.
yes, correct.
Agreed, right? Everyone agrees, right?
Yes, yes.
Because we are working here in computer, right? This for this it is digital, right? Not pen and paper. So there is data.
Whatever, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever we are seeing in the interface that purely depends on the changes happen in the database only, right? That's the
Correct,
reason.
correct, correct, correct. Whatever is changing, we are changing in the database, and here
Yes,
we are seeing in green, red, blue. But you are
yes, yes,
entering
yes.
1.00.2. That is also getting stored in the database, right? That is
Correct,
data. There
correct,
is where there is data, where there is database, and where there is
correct,
database,
correct.
we need to know query, right? Now, if you know this will build your confidence in LIMS that okay, I am seeing front side this thing. I know what is happening in the
Yes,
back side. That will build your
yes.
confidence to even crack the interviews.
Yeah, yeah. This is really good thing today. I thought seriously, I learned.
Yeah,
This perception should have every QA guy, even QA person, CSV person should have this perception.
correct.
Then that will be our work will be even better
It
than
will be
that.
very easy. You just need to, give few hours for learning queries. But once you learn, it will be so easy, and things will become so clear to you. You know what is happening at the back, and you will tell that, oh, this was happening till now. So you will then, laugh or smile and tell that, okay, yeah, now I understand. You will see the bigger picture. That's why. So I'll teach you all of you this one. So you can be
Thank you.
sure on this. Okay. So in the later sessions, these are demo session. Okay. We'll dig deeper. I assure you this one. Okay. So anyway, see, now again, I'm explaining you, right? There are environments, right? For LIMS, development environment, static validation environment, production environment. But see, this environment, right? It again depends on your pharma company, right? Like I can say that, okay, there are broadly specifying three environments, right? One is development environment, one is test environment, one is production environment. Now, someone can jump in and tell that, no, I have one more environment where I call the training environment, where I trade my resources. Someone can tell, okay, I have two testing environment, testing one and two, because I do two levels of testing. So don't hard code yourself in your mind telling that, okay, we have only three environments. It depends, right? Your pharma company can afford how many environments, right? Again, someone may tell that, okay, no, I'll do the development and testing in one environment. Once I do that, I will push that to production environment. Correct or not? But I don't want to
Yeah, yeah.
make things complicated.
Typically these are yes.
Yeah, typically speaking, I'm telling you there
Typically
are
three
three
environments.
environments.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
three
guidance
environments,
also
but
saying the same.
yeah, but so that you have a clear picture, I want to give you the bigger picture right here, crystal clear, bigger trainer, that there are three environments. But if anyone comes and asks you, okay, is there only three? Then you will be able to give answer that no, there can be depending on requirement. How if they ask, then whatever I have explained you can explain them. Then they'll understand that no, you have the full understanding. Okay. So, but for the timing, but see here it's written four. Someone can come and argue with me, no, it's three. That's why I said that's why I bought this. Now there are different types of modules in LIMS, right? There is lot management, there is inventory management, there is instrument management where you integrate the instrument, where you calibrate, where you do the preventive maintenance. There is stability management where you do the stability study. Stability study means generally the expiry date. You have environmental monitoring, you have micro inventory management. Okay, then you may have, there are more modules in level LIMS, batch manager, folder manager, you know those are also there, right? Now coming to master data. You have, all of you have come across this term, right? Master data. So what do you think master data is? Have you come across this term, master data, right?
Like a raw data, or we
Yeah.
can say that is
See,
primary data.
master data, yeah, master data is the main data, primary data, right? The data, you need to create your analysis, you need to create samples, components, right? Then only you can log your samples, right? With those analysis, you need to have your product, right? You got it? That is your master data, right? Using those data only, you will log samples, right?
Sir, can
Someone was speaking something. Yes, sir. I think I lost you.
you please minimize?
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. See, now role, right? LIMS role. Again, right? When we log into a LIMS, there are particular roles. See, I am an analyst, maybe you are a supervisor, someone is a reviewer. So my question to all of you will be, like, I want to make it interactive. That's why I'm asking, right? If you don't know, you can tell me I don't know. There is no harm, right? But I just want to listen from you. Like, why are there so many roles? There could be one role, right? Admin super user who can do everything. You log in using that role and we'll just do our task, right? But why are there so many roles, right?
To maintain the quality and
Yeah, simply the pharma industry is regulated, right? An analyst should log in and work and do only his task, right? He should not get the privilege to supervise, right? Why should he, right? We work in a regulated industry, right? Pharma industry is a regulated industry. Like, who has to do what? He should get only those privileges, right? You know, this is a closed system and you are being monitored. So why give you extra privileges, right? We can, but it's not necessary, right? That's what. That's the point where roles come here. And you know how this is done, in most of the LIMS, like this particular role, right? Admin. You will see that admin has all the functions assigned to him. Like, there is one particular function, where approve sample. So he can approve sample, reject samples, reject test. So, particular LIMS may have 300, 400, 500, I'm not sure functions. Now, when he's a super user or super admin, he has access to all those functions. He can do all those functions. When I come to analyst one, analyst two, most probably analysts have the least privilege. They can only enter results, create samples and enter values for those samples. So he have only those functional privileges. So this is where roles come, right? We assign role. We can assign multiple role to one user, but when he logs in, he has to log in with one particular role. So this clear, right? I made your concept of roles clear, right? Is it clear? I mean, why the need for role comes? Why there is not one
Yeah,
role?
it's clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, those who are again new to those, like those who have hands-on experience, I know you all know, but I am trying to, explain from the basics, right? From scratch, that what a role is like. So let me know if you did not understand. Okay, I am here to explain you. Okay, so uh, this is just one, formula here. That costing. Costing is very important, right? While deciding LIMS. So when you assess a cost, the licensing is the part, right? Cost for purchasing the item, plus internal telling time, implementation and validation. So it's not only purchasing, right? You need to train the resources as well, right? On those LIMS. You need time for implementing also, right? And you need to validate also, right? If you are a pharma MNC, correct, right? So this is your initial cost. Now what is your annual cost? You have maintenance cost, right? Maintenance cost per year, plus license for the LIMS, minus cost of time spent using new LIMS, plus cost of time spent using new LIMS, minus cost of time spent using old paper based system. So this is just one simple formula, right? But what this wants to tell you is that in annual costing, licenses are there, right? And licenses are renewed, right? Half yearly, 2 yearly, 3 yearly, anyways, annually. And there is maintenance cost also, right? Maintenance cost means what? You need backup. There should be help desk. You mean there should be support. There should be error handling. You know, so there is maintenance of that software also, right? It's not like I just buy, I train, once I deploy, it's done, right? There are a lot of support projects going on, right? Why? Because there are many new users who face issues, raise tickets, that goes on, right? So uh that's what this formula is, but the what is the real benefit of LIMS? Apart of this costing, apart from spending all this, it really adds long-term value, right, to your laboratory process. Because see, everything will be audited, right? It all the proper big LIMS tools, they have a very strong audit trail, right? They adhere to all the pharmaceutical standards set by all the big pharma regulatory agencies, uh, be it FDA, be it EMA, correct, right? So, and again, once it's digitized, right? You know, once you see a pharmacopoeia or you see something and you create a formula, generally does not change, right? Again, once it's digitized and once it's validated, it's done, right? Although there may be initial costing, there may be expenditure, but the point is adding value and adding worth, right? So there are a lot of risks again, right? Like uh, many of the projects are cancelled prior to implementation due to functional time and budget constraint. Budget is one thing, time is one thing, but sometimes it happens that you want to implement one particular kind of LIMS, but sometimes not for all the LIMS, but sometimes you see that your implementation strategy or the data, maybe you used one older LIMS, now you want to migrate everything to one another LIMS technology, from X LIMS to YZ LIMS. But the part of migrating it from one LIMS to another, maybe there are a lot of challenges. Maybe the time you thought you anticipated it will complete, maybe it's taking more time, in estimation. There are a lot of things because that LIMS had a different table structure. Here it's a different table structure. You need to do the mapping and everything. So there should be some formal process. There should be proper planning. There should be some buffer time. Okay. There should be assessment of the risks as well. So this is what they just want to tell you. Okay. So guidelines for a successful LIMS implementation, business case preparation, collect and organize user requirements. You listen to user requirements, what they are, you know. So again, segment and prioritize, critical to work process, improves work process. Nice to, what is your priority for the LIMS? You know, development of functional specification, then your evaluation of vendor response, you do gap analysis, then configuration, customization, integration. You need to look into these aspects as well. How much time will it take to do this? How much easy is this to do? How are we able to integrate, or does this LIMS cover all of the instruments which we are using in the lab, or most of them where integration is needed? Okay. Then how much cost is it for maintaining it? What is the maintenance cost? You know, is it only needed to be maintained by vendor as well, or can we ourselves maintain it in house? So a lot of things come. That's, I'm just giving you a brief walkthrough. But key messages: good information management system. What will it do? See, ensure all data, the final product of the laboratory is well managed. It will ensure confidentiality and privacy of patient information. Yes, it will ensure your confidentiality and privacy. Incorporate all the laboratory business processes as part of the system. Yes, all your business processes, right? That's why there are workflows. That's why there are reports, right? Assure the accessibility, accuracy, timeliness, and security of the data. That's why there are roles. That's why there are passwords, right? That's why the passwords keep on changing on time, right? That's why there are provision in LIMS that if you enter two wrong password or three wrong password, three times your account will get locked, right? So these all are part of your LIMS, right? If I'm not wrong, of all the majorly used LIMS. Okay. Streamline sample tracking and sample workflow in the clinical laboratory. Yes, sample tracking and sample workflow we can do, right? So, basically, this is just, one small step showing you what is done, right? In basically in LIMS. So, sample registration, then we receive it in the lab. Okay. After receiving it, we prepare it and allocate the work to the analyst, right? Who will work on which sample. Then the analysts will do the testing or enter the values. Okay. Then what someone will do, the supervisor will come, they'll approve or reject it. If they may ask for retesting, after approval is done, okay, they are approving it. Then they are then doing the reporting, they are printing out the reports. Okay. After the reporting is done, after some weeks or years, maybe as per their policy, they'll archive it or they'll delete it. They don't delete it, they'll archive it, right? Store it somewhere, maybe remove it to the LIMS, but store it somewhere, right? I mean, as per the standard set by different pharma companies, they'll do it. So what are the functionalities of LIMS? Reception and log of a sample. As I said you, right? You receive a sample, you log a sample. Okay, the entire sample life cycle has to be followed in LIMS. Sample is the backbone of LIMS, right? Sample tracking, assignment scheduling, yes, that's what, right? The processing and quality control associated with the sample, yes, you can do that also, right? The storage of data associated with sample analysis, yeah, whatever data is there for your sample, when you log, who logged, in what status is it, what value you entered, whether you modified the value, while modifying it, you gave the justification. Inspection, approval, and compilation of the sample data for further analysis. Yes, reviewer will come, all your seniors, whoever is there to whom it has been allocated, they'll come and inspect. Okay. So additional functions, audit management, barcode handling. I said you chain of custody of sample, compliance, document management, instrument calibration, reports, time tracking, traceability, workflow. These are all part of LIMS, right? Any question as of now? Anyone? Any question?
Do we have any live demo now, or how is your plan?
My plan is here, to be very honest, there won't be live demo, but I'll have screenshots. I'll show with screenshots, because particularly having one, license for me, it's not possible in the labware industry, or in any validated, LIMS industry, personally for this task. So there won't be any live demo for this case, but the way I'll teach you is that what I taught for the last three batches is that with the screenshots and how it happens, like with all the theory, like they understood. That's what. What module after clicking, what happens after which, what opens, I'll go by that step by step.
Okay.
But live demo for majority of the validated LIMS is very tough, of to get one simple license for the purpose of explaining here. I mean, I believe that's out of my scope, but the point is the way I'll explain you, because going ahead, I'll tell you what we'll cover. We'll cover a lot of modules for labware. Like we'll start with the master data creation, how to work with master data, what a sample is, test is, result is, what product, grade, stage, what all those is, and where we create master data, what a variation is, what are the sample life cycle, how can we relate that with the database, the sample life cycle, what is the table structure, for mostly commonly used tables, how to write queries, how to write joins, how can we use those joins in LIMS. Okay, what is primary key, foreign key relationship, I'll write some simple queries, online, in Java W3 schools, and show you, how to write queries. I'll just show you, what is relational database. So those things I'll show you. Then we'll come to stability management, we'll come to inventory management, we'll come to instrument management. Module wise, we have uh you know slides. So those will be covered going ahead. It will be very informative course. I mean, and not only, my course will, not only show you like we click here, that happens, but my course will show you like you have, so that you have some idea about what is going on at the back end. That's what my point is. From that perspective, I'll try to, make things as much clear as possible. Okay. Any more questions?
As I said, you don't have the licensed version, means how will you implement those queries and all?
No, I will not implement queries. I will, show you how to write queries, what queries are. I'll tell you how the table structure is built in LIMS. Now, for example, I have sample table, and where I have sample number as a field in LabVal LIMS. I don't need to implement and show you. I can write a query and show you select star from sample. Well, sample number equal to, I'll write the sample number. This only proves that we know how to write queries, right?
Are you
You
going
got
to
it?
use the SQL or how it is?
No, I will not log into LabVal LIMS and show you. I will just show you how to write SQL queries online, or how does the queries work? How is the table structure changed when we write queries? Same thing you can apply to your LIMS, right? You got it.
No, for freshers, there won't be any media or any medium, right, to implement these queries or some other thing.
Yeah, it will be, but not in LIMS, right? It will be, but not in LIMS.
No, I
Because
thought
we
of
have W3 schools where already we have the databases built. Okay, we can write the queries and check that if I write this query, if I modify this query, what will happen to this table? The same knowledge, if you expand it to LIMS, same thing will happen there, right? Because queries are queries, right? It's not that the syntax changes there. That's what my point is.
no, that is correct. But if we have the live
No,
software or something, when you are executing the queries and you are getting some kind of errors or something,
I get
then
you,
and
but
there you
I
can.
don't have access to the live software. So
Okay.
so that is actually
No,
not possible, to be very honest.
no. What I believe that will give more understanding with respect to the software as well as application,
Correct, correct,
and with respect to the subject, what he is executing and what it is
correct.
resulting.
I get your point. Your point makes sense. But again, the point is that I could not, anywhere get that I could get one single license version of Lava LIMS in my hand for one single
Okay.
user. I mean, this is not even allowed by Lavware itself. Maybe I don't know. If you go and Lavware and ask for one single license, they will never give you. They'll ask for justification whether you're a pharma company or not. Now, if I
Oh,
go and tell Lavware that I want to teach some students and I'm taking this this license, simply they'll reject because they'll tell that it's our task, to give the teaching and give the certification. Right? All of you in this industry, right? We are their competitor or I am their competitor. Maybe what I'm teaching you with 1 rupee, they'll teach you with 100 rupee. Yeah, they'll show you live, but they'll take 100 rupee. But again, they won't give you the license as well. They'll show you live and again they'll close it. You got
yeah,
the raw fact, right?
yeah.
That's the problem here. But again, see, that's what, right? You won't get all the courses everywhere at level. You won't be able to learn. But this is how, if you take the feedback from the last 3 batches, you will get a very positive feedback from them. How I taught them. Maybe you got the feedback from the past 3 batches, or there are, the past 3 batches. You can take the contact number from Company Connect Consultancy. You can talk to them. Then you will get to know how I taught them. I tried my level best to make things as easy as possible instead of showing live. That's what my effort will be.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, always welcome. So, advantages of LIMS. So again, very fast report access and queries. So, as time is progressing, what I saw as the newer versions are coming, you can execute queries and the queries, thousands of lines of output will come very fast. Again, with the reporting as well, right? Again, reduction in paperwork, improved data quality, improved operational efficiency, increased productivity, you know, reduces transcription errors, increases throughput, avoids duplication. You know, that's what, right? The main advantage is like everything is digitized and everything is audited, you know, everything is monitored, you know, all the formulas are written down. If anything comes out of specification limit, things turn red. Everything is manageable. Everything is divided into modules. There are workflows. If I leave these statements, this is what I am telling you. I mean the advantages. Okay, so this is what is actually reducing your time, right? This is actually is reducing your paperwork, right? This is actually increasing your efficiency, right? That you don't need to every time go into Excel sheet or calculator and type, right? Because those formulas have already been written and they have already been tested and they have already been validated. This is what I want to reiterate every time. This is what is actually making life simple, and that instrument is already integrated. And if you are able to automate certain instruments, writing some scripts by parsing and connecting it with LIMS, again it's directly taking the values and directly your value is getting populated, life is getting more simpler. you know Again, there has to be disadvantage. It's not disadvantage, but there has to be training. There is a costing for license. There are physical restrictions. You need to have backup. There should be support. You need to make sure that there is no loss of data. All of these things, you know, should be taken care of. Okay. So this is what, right? the final conclusion is that, you know, if we are using LIMS in our laboratories, our life should be simpler. And is it making our task simpler? Is it making our, life simpler in the lab? If yes, that's why, LIMS came to the picture. And here we are, everyone sitting, trying to understand what LIMS is and, trying to pursue our career or, earning our bread and butter through LIMS. So, this is the beauty of LIMS, which I'll tell you, we are out of paper and now we have come into computers, and it has made our life much easier. So this is where I want to conclude. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
May I know your good name, China?
No, you cannot know the good name of the trainer. I'm sorry.
So you are saying that you don't want to disclose it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Then, no problem. So the thing
I
here,
have
many clients are asking even AWS and Python DevOps knowledge while they are hiring, LIMS application support roles.
Now I'm coming to this. Okay. If anyone will ask you, to join for LabWell LIMS, they'll ask you for, do you know query and LIMS basic? If anyone will ask you for LabVantage, they'll ask you for, uh, Java. But
okay.
AWS, I'm not sure which LIMS, but maybe that LIMS is built on that technology or based on that, that background, But I don't think anyone who will, recruit you for LabWell LIMS, they'll ask you to know, AWS or something, because that does not match the, that technology skill set, right? To be very honest. I can guarantee you this from my end.
I have question.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I or whatever, anyone who will be in from pharma background, actual core pharma background, we are working.
Mm.
So, what by doing this course, which you are going to launch in next month, or what the batches are coming for the coming
Mm.
sessions. Okay, so by doing this course, what will be the exactly the career perspective? Can
Career
we?
perspective is like, yeah, career perspective is like, you will get to know, from the former perspective as well, what LIMS is, what the different modules are, because similarly those modules will be used in other LIMS as well, right? Maybe the look and feel will be different, but you will know at least, right, what is this module, why are we using? Point two, I'll cover queries. See,
Okay,
table structure is different for different type of LIMS, but if you know how to write queries, the syntax of queries, you can leverage your knowledge, right, and write their
okay,
queries.
okay.
You
So
got
can
it,
we
right?
change our role, or can we change my career path? And can I make a full career in CSV or what LIMS?
Yeah, sure, sure. You can, whatever I'll teach, like, you can, make your career path in LIMS. Like, see, for level LIMS, I know the manual is there all in the internet. They have disclosed
Because
it. But the
because
point
I
is,
don't have knowledge of Java, because
no, yeah, that's what,
I'm
right?
not an IT
See,
person.
that's what, right? I won't teach you Java, right? I won't teach you
Mhm.
Java. Now I'm telling you that I will teach you to write queries, but from the basics, right? So
Mhm.
even if you don't have knowledge, you don't need knowledge, because I will teach you from scratch. Because today,
Okay.
everyone I taught LIMS from scratch, right? What LIMS is. I did not directly start like how to log into LIMS, right?
Yes.
Similarly, when I'll go to query, I'll teach from the basics, right? What is a query?
Okay.
You got
Okay.
it.
Okay. So we can do the job in LIMS or
You
panel
will you
as a
you
pharma
will be
background
able to. I
person.
mean, you see, LIMS is a very, very big ocean, right?
Great path.
But
Okay.
that will help you. Whatever I teach you, that will help you to gain more confidence, that you yourself can gain confidence and go ahead.
Okay.
That push
Okay.
is at least needed, right? Someone needs to give you that push, right? And that push is very important.
That means we can find the career opportunities.
Yeah, because yeah, I'll discuss what sample is, how sample table, what test is, what variation is, what master
Okay.
data is, what static data is, what dynamic data is, why are we using, how this is there in LIMS,
Okay. Okay.
what user table is, how you can configure role in LIMS. Like, I can tell you this role he can do, this role that can do. How can we configure role in LIMS?
Okay.
You know, what,
Okay.
like I said you, right? How we assign functions, right? Where do we assign those functions? We go to the users table and we assign those
Yeah.
functions. I'll show you with screenshot that, okay, you go to this user table, you click here, you assign this function that, okay, approve sample, then only you will be able to approve sample. I remove this function, you won't be able to. So this is how you will know right from the backend, and you will get the confidence, right? That why I'm able to approve this.
Okay.
Now, when the picture becomes clear, you yourself will again open the manual and try to read and understand. Right? I'll give you the push. Now you will, climb the ladder yourself. That's what my effort is, right?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
As earlier, I handled that analyst privilege and supervisor privilege in lab LIMS. I know what they will do that activities. And one more thing, I have an idea about that SQL. You know,
No,
this
SQL means writing basic SQL or advanced
That-
SQL.
yeah, MySQL I have an idea, but not 100%. I know queries, how to execute that all queries.
I'll go into a bit
You
advanced. I
mentioned
mean, yeah, not only analyst supervisor entering values. I'll go up bit deeper. I mean, I'll go into the modules directly, right, and master
yeah,
data, right?
correct. But you mentioned that you can share only screenshots of LIMS software.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
sharing
but
screenshot. No, no
the
live.
same.
That's what.
Okay.
Yeah.
But same screenshot I can read in our SOPs also. No?
You can read those same screenshots in your SOPs as well. I agree that, but
Yes.
I'll be explaining you, right, and there you'll be reading, and SOP is a bit different with what I'll teach you. Anyways, if you say that no, same screenshots you'll get in SOP as well. Yeah, you are correct. You'll get those same screenshots in your SOP as well. But I'll be teaching you like this module, this table, this what, that what.
Yes.
I'm not sure in SOPs it's like that or not.
No, see, administration point of view, there will be separate SOPs, and the developer point of view, separate SOPs will be there. End user separate SOPs will be there.
I get you. I get you.
Yeah.
No, but my
Particularly,
point is my point is, yeah, admin point of view SOP will be there, but that's what, right? In this course I will teach you, right? SOP will tell you, I'll teach you that, okay, boss, like if you for example, you can tell that, okay, you worked in lab LIMS.
Okay.
There are certain fields which are in blue, right? So what are those blue fields?
Okay.
No, what are those blue fields? Can you tell me what are those blue fields? For example, if you remember some blue
Yeah.
fields, right? Blue fields are mandatory fields, right?
Okay. Correct.
But how can you make those mandatory? Why are those blue? Because there is one table known as table master. And in table
Okay.
master, you have that table, and that field in table master, you made that mandatory. I can make other fields blue as well. The point is, when I read something, I'll just see that, okay, this is blue. This is blue means mandatory. I need to type here and save. Otherwise, it won't save. My point is, when I teach you, I'll tell you why this is blue and how to make this blue.
Okay.
Why this is blue, and from lab LIMS perspective, of course, not from other. But similarly, you can use your knowledge there, that there should be some other table or some other module where you can configure that or make that field mandatory. That's what my point is.
Yeah.
Because I need to catch one LIMS and go ahead, right? I cannot catch 10 LIMS. Then you will not go anywhere. I need to either catch Caliber, I need to either catch labware. So I'll catch labware. That's what. Depending on my expertise, right? That's what my point is. But yes, you can draw the line afterward once you understand this. Because there has to be something similar concept there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If here it's blue mandatory, maybe in some other LIMS it's mandatory with red color, but it's there, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Somewhere maybe it will be green, maybe I don't know, but I'm telling you how to draw the line. That's what. Any other question?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no issues.
Hello.
No issues. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Will you be explaining labware LIMS in elaborate or that is caliber LIMS?
No, it will be labware LIMS in elaborate.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm having one doubt.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm working in food laboratory testing lab. So if we want to create one package, I don't know how to create the package.
Oh yeah, configuration package. Yes, that will be
Yes,
covered.
yes.
Yeah,
it will
it
be
will be
covered.
covered. It will be 100%. It will be covered.
And
100% we have
no,
slides.
okay. So after results entry, I'll do the results entry and it will go to the validation and it will go to the approver also.
Yeah.
And approval time, the results are not appeared. And where is the issue is there? How I'll come to know that issue, how I can rectify. All these things will come to know in this training.
This is, more of a support kind of task. Like if it is not coming at result entry, generally, once you enter the result and it goes to the approver, the
No,
result
whatever
should
it is,
appear.
like I have entered one parameter. It is missed, means after opening the package list, the parameter is not there. So what is the query? How I can rectify that issue?
I don't think that will be covered as part of your training, but maybe later I can explain it to you. But as a part of that, I'll tell you how to create package, what are the basic steps, how can you go ahead creating a package,
Mm-hmm.
what should you not do while creating a package, everything from creating a package to exporting it to importing it in a different version of LIMS, right? Because you are creating a package, you are either exporting, importing it within different
Yeah.
versions or within different environments, right? That
Oh,
I'll show you, right?
okay. Like if I want to go means jobs wise, I want to search in the LIMS developer as a LIMS developer. I want to go. Someone asked me means where I am giving the training or giving
Correct. See, LIMS
creating that.
developer is a very big term, right? Developer means there is someone who with 10 years of experience is a developer, who with 30 years of experience is a developer. You
Means
know,
at least some basic
yeah,
things
yeah,
with
yeah.
only.
That you'll get right. That's what I'm telling you, right? That you'll get right. That
Okay.
is only right. These are only covered, right? The basic developer means what? These are only. And if we get time, we look into some LIMS basic code, right? But again, for LIMS basic code, you need more time, right? You need to know first of all what loop is, right? What if else is, what do while is, right? You got it
Mm-hmm.
right. Then there are, I believe more than 100 functions in level LIMS.
Yes,
Maybe we
yes.
can discuss some 5 or 10 commonly used functions. There are a lot of
Yeah, I
functions.
felt that only this much less hours is not sufficient to
No,
explain the
it's not
whole
sufficient. But my point is,
thing.
it's sufficient to catch you, to give you that boost, so that when
Some
you
of the
open the manual, you will understand. If I explain you this many things, when you open the manual, based on those basics, you will be able to catch the advanced concepts yourself.
Okay.
That's what I want to tell you.
ठीक, fine. Thank you.
Any other question? No issues. I am liking the questions. It's good. I'm clearing your doubts, right? So I I I am looking forward, to connecting with all of you in the later sessions.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Hi.
Sir, what is the scope of this course in IT industry?
See, in IT industry, that's what, right? You need to create master data. You need to do data migration that I'll cover. In IT industry, if you come to the support team, you need to write queries, right?
Okay.
To understand. See, I covered these three things only, right? Which are used. There are other things as well. The coding part as well. If we get time, we'll understand, in the IT industry.
Okay, but this is all you are teaching is the theoretical. How I can get the
Theoretical, but with screenshots, right? Because I don't have access, but the way I'm teaching, screenshots
there
is
is
like,
no practical exposure. I am asking.
no, for my course, there is no practical exposure here.
Okay.
But yeah, I completed, this same thing with 3 batches, and they are quite happy. That's what. I mean, as a proof, I can just tell you from my end, an honest proof, and all the 3 batches are quite happy. And you are the 4th batch. That's why we are continuing here.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no issues, no issues. Then I believe, thank you, everyone. We can drop off. All of you, please, have a happy weekend. And I'm looking forward to all of you, in my later sessions. It will be, very interesting. It will be very interactive. Even if there are screenshots, it will be very interesting and interactive. This much I can, guarantee you. And we'll learn everything from the basics. It's not that we have screenshots, so I'm not teaching you like, okay, screenshot means nothing. No. The way I taught you today from the basics, others I'll also teach from the basics. things will be like from the basics only, because I don't have any prerequisite, right? Because in the demo session, I taught you what LIMS is. Next, we'll teach you how to log into LIMS. Slowly, we'll go above. How much we can. That's what, as part of our course. So that your basics are clear,
Is there any job assistance after the course?
I'm not sure, but job assistance will be provided by Company Connect Consultancy. What I'll do is that, in the course, after my course completes, there'll be one Q&A sessions. Whatever I've taught you, I'll ask you a couple of questions which are mostly asked of, okay, and which you may expect, and I'll answer you those questions. I'll teach you, but I'll ask you those same questions, and I'll try to answer you those questions. I mean, I'll answer you since I'll teach you. I know the answers. I'll teach you the answers.
Okay.
It will be a Q&A session, like mock interview type. Yeah, I think Ram Prasad raised a hand.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yeah, sure.
I have zero knowledge on LIMS software. So after learning your suggestion about your class, can I go to IT field? It will help you or not?
You can, but I'll give you the manuals. You need to again go through my audios. You need to read the manuals, and then you need to go. Because see, I am starting from the basics, right? That's why you can catch. That's what I'm telling you. That is, I don't have any prerequisites
So,
like that. You should know LIMS.
My question is in IT field coding something is required. So it will help or not? Actually, I have zero knowledge on LIMS. That's why I'm asking.
It will help you. That's what it will help you. It will help you. In IT field, some coding is required for all the projects. All coding is not required. If you come to IT with L2 ticket solving, you don't need coding. I don't know what L3, L4 if they give you. Maybe for L2 only simple query writing, and knowing configuration will work. Okay, why error messages
Even
are coming up? Why
entry
this?
level, even entry level, there
No,
is
if you go to higher level,
No.
if you go to higher level ticket solving like L3, L3 and above, then you need to know coding for sure.
I'm asking entry level. For entry level, it will help.
No, entry level, I don't think. Entry level, what I'll teach, it will help you, Entry level, what I'll teach, it will help you. Entry level, not, but if you tell advanced level, that's what, right? If you come to advanced level, there is LIMS basic code. Now, LIMS basic code means for labware, they have one particular set of coding language. That should be, that comes another topic and another, course, if to be very honest, that is another thing. But yes, time
Here
permits,
I want
I'll
to
try to
add
cover.
something here.
Yeah.
Even IT field, there are various fields. Even testing also they can go.
Correct.
Testing field,
Correct.
testers
Correct.
also there is.
Correct.
A business analyst requirement gathering field, like
Correct.
that. No need to be
Not
developer.
necessarily, yeah.
So many
Not
necessarily.
Yeah. And there also it will help you here, right? Because even if you get into LIMS, LabWare LIMS, if you do testing, you need to enter values. You need to see whether it's out of spec or not. You need to know why these two
Yes.
components are getting added. You need to know what variation is. You need to know what product is. You need to know what sample plan is. You need to know what item code is, right? Which will be covered, right? That's what I'm telling
This
you.
will help
Even if you do
to
testing,
go for a tester also.
yes, obviously it will help. 100%
Yes.
it will help. 10,000% it will help. I mean, 10,000% it will help. Because even if you test, you need to go into the LIMS, right? Inside the LIMS, you need to create a sample. You need to log a sample, right? You will do testing by entering the values, right? So you should know, right? Why this is happening, why that is happening, why at the back end this is happening. I mean, testing anyone can do, right? But your confidence will grow when you know why I'm doing this. That's what my point is. So it will help you. Yeah, apart from development also IT, there are testing projects. It will help you in testing projects as well. Requirement gathering project. Yes, if you know the tool better, you will understand the tool, right? You can yourself understand the requirement and start working on, start giving, your, point of view, right? It will help you from every angle. This is what I can tell you. Because we'll go inside LIMS. We'll get into LIMS. That's what my point is. Any other question?
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I joined this presentation late, so I
No
don't know
issue,
whether
no
you
issue.
covered this topic or not. So, are we going to discuss crystal reports and instrument integration?
Instrument, I'll talk something about the instrument table, but instrument integration, I mean, it's you need to know the hardware part as well, right? That's another big
Mm-hmm.
topic. So we'll see the basics of what instrument table is, how to integrate instrument, how things are there inside labware regarding the instrument table, so that you can have a look at it. Okay, crystal report is itself one separate topic, so that is not covered. Crystal report is reporting in labware LIMS. Crystal report, if you go into crystal report manual, it's a 2,500 page thing, right?
Yeah.
Crystal report is not a part of labware LIMS. You create report using crystal report in labware LIMS. You got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, crystal report is created by SAP. So there is software, SAP crystal report. There you go and create the crystal report. Now, labware LIMS uses, this something known as access routine and query tag and this
Yeah.
crystal report. And with this access routine and query tag, you can generate that report. Now I can teach you what access routine is, what query tag is, because this is a part of labware LIMS. But if I go into crystal report, then I need to, that is another 30 hours course. It has to be, right? Crystal
Oh,
report.
okay.
You got it,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Because crystal report will be your entire LIMS database, and pulling the database, and everything there inside crystal report is bit different.
Okay. Okay.
That is
Got
one
it.
separate topic, separate chapter, big.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, so thank you everyone. Okay, I'm looking forward to all of you, in our later sessions. So yeah, thank you. I'm dropping off. Thank you everyone. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you, sir.